What's up people, this is Sakuraba1982 here, coming to you from the UK, and this is me bringing you a comparison slash review video. Now I've been on somewhat of a quest over the last sort of 6 months to find the perfect premium headset for my Xbox One. I've looked on YouTube, much like you're probably doing when you've come across this video, to find what headset should I buy. I've got £200, £300 burning a hole in my pocket. It's a lot of money. Which headset should I buy? No, not knocking the reviews which are out there at the moment, but they're full of fluff and they're full of all this information which I don't think you really need. What you want to know is which headset is worth buying and which headset is not. Now I'm going to go as far as saying as there is no perfect headset for the Xbox One, and I'm going to explain to you why that is now. The Astro A50 wireless headset. This is the Gen 2 edition that I've used personally. There is a Gen 1 edition as well, which you can use on the Xbox One. You just have to buy a few wires as well as the chat adapter for the Xbox One to use it. But this, when you're asking people about a premium headset for the Xbox One or any console actually, they're going to tell you to buy an Astro A50. And if you put down your £200 odd for an Astro A50, you're probably not going to be too disappointed. Astros have a build quality about them which just feels premium. It's solid, it's chunky, and it really cuts out that noise. It has great noise cancellation. Often I'd be playing Alien Isolation, my missus would come home through the door and scare the shit out of me where I couldn't hear her coming in. So the noise cancellation on these headphones is great. Now Astro sound, I actually would say it has great sound, but it depends on what you're looking for in a headset. These things sound like you're holding a subwoofer to your ear. I would liken them to, you know, when you're in a nightclub and you're dancing next to the speakers and you can just hear the bass going doo, 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 doo. That is exactly what listening to an Astro A50 headset is like. If you have an explosion next to you, it booms in your ear and you can hear it reverberate. It literally shakes and you feel like there is something exploding next to you. It is really good in that respect. Not so great on the mid-ranges and stuff, but it really does go all out there for the bass. And certainly you can hear the footsteps in Call of Duty or whatever shooter you're playing at the time. The headset itself has 3 different sound modes. It has media mode, which is number 1, which has enhanced bass. It has the second mode, which is core mode, which you use for single player gaming, and it has the third mode, which is pro mode, which is boosted highs for competitive play. So basically you can hear people's footsteps to the left and to the right and that kind of stuff. It is worth noting that this is not a fully wireless headset. You can use it wireless all the time you're playing, but as soon as you want to use the chat functionality, you have to plug in that wire which connects to your Xbox One controller. It is worth noting this is actually not down to Astro, this is down to Microsoft using their bullshit proprietary headset adapter which you plug into the Xbox One controller. Stupid chat cable thing, you know, they like to be different to everyone else, so you can't really blame Astro for Microsoft implementing this, you know. So what really is the downside of the Astro A50? And I've got to be honest, it is the microphone. I don't think the microphone sounds very good at all. It does have some cool features. When you flip it up into the kind of neutral mode, you flip, you know, the boom mic up, it does automatically cut off your speech, and you flip it down and it switches on. But it doesn't have mic monitoring. Now mic monitoring is something I never cared about until I'd used Turtle Beach. When you're using a headset which cuts off all sound outside your peripheral hearing, you will find you will be shouting into the microphone more than you'd like to, because you don't know how loud you're talking, because all you can hear is all this bass, all this explosions and all this other bullshit, so you really can't hear how loud you're talking. So when I was using the Astros, I was finding I was constantly having to tweak with the the sound of the game, just so I could hear myself how loud I was shouting down the microphone. And just as far as the actual quality of the sound, it's okay, you know, the mic is okay, but I wouldn't say it's top bollocks. I wouldn't say it's absolutely supreme. But that's really the only things that let this headset down, man. If you like really bassy explosions and a really, really loud headset, I mean, you turn this thing up to full volume, you will be deafened after 20 minutes. This thing is the loudest headset I've ever used. It's absolutely absolutely insane, man. You try playing a horror game at full volume, you will shit yourself. But if you like I said, if you can put up with a couple of little niggles like having to plug the wire into the controller, Microsoft's fault, not Astro's, and you don't mind, you know, an average microphone and lack of mic monitoring, this headset is a really good headset, and I can highly recommend it. Just a couple of niggles which make it not quite right for me personally. On to the next one. And next on the list we have the Turtle Beach Stealth 500X headset for the Xbox One, and this is my jack of all trades headset. You know, this is the headset that I bought, and I've got to be honest, first of all I was very underwhelmed with this headset. Firstly, I had used the Turtle Beach X07s previously, and to me they looked and felt very much like the X07s, which plugged directly into the controller and weren't wireless, and they drained the life out of my controller very quickly. So my first impressions weren't overly great for the Turtle Beach Stealth X500. I think the first thing that really hit me, bearing in mind I'd come from the Astro A50 wireless, was as soon as I went to crank up that volume, this headset does not have anywhere near the volume of the Astro A50s. In fact, I would say from the other headsets I've used, the volume is about 30% lower than you can achieve on other headsets. So if you're looking for a headset that's going to blow your eardrums away, the Stealth 500X is not going to be that headset. So I played around with this headset for about 30-40 minutes, and I almost returned it at that point, being so underwhelmed. But I'm very glad I didn't return this headset, because in some ways this headset is better than the other two on this list, and it does have some great features. First and foremost, this is a completely wireless headset. There is no need to put a wire from your headset into the proprietary controller jack for headsets on the Xbox One. No wires needed whatsoever. When you fire up your Xbox One, you're going to see it's going to prompt you until your headset is assigned. At that point, you can chat without wires. That is a really big bonus, and that brings me on nicely to where this headset really shines. The clarity of the voice chat on this thing is an absolute thing of beauty. It has a boom mix, so it has a dedicated microphone, and it's just so clear. You actually have some great mic monitoring on this headset as well. You have, I believe, 2 different volumes, low and loud, so you can hear yourself chatting on the microphone. I'm not kidding, guys. Just for a gaming headset, this is by far the best I have ever heard in clarity for voice chat. I literally went in and tried sending some messages to people and listening back to them. It was absolutely stunning. I live streamed some UFC and listened back to the stream afterwards. It was absolutely stunning. If you're someone who games online an awful lot and does a lot of party chat, then I would really look at this headset, man. The people you chat with are gonna all tell you they can hear you incredibly well using the Turtle Beach 500X. That is probably the biggest plus of this headset. You have also plenty of EQU modes. You go onto the Turtle Beach website, you download the Airforce Audio Hub, you then plug it into your PC, and you can change from all different types of sound modes and program them. You know, you have signature sound, you have footstep focus, you have a horror mode, you have a sports mode. The sports mode is great, man. You play Fight Night or FIFA or something like that, and it kind of tunes the crowd levels just right so you can hear the commentary, and this is really great. Unfortunately, a slight downside on this headset, unlike the Stealth 800X, which we're going to talk about next, when you change your mode, you just get 1 beep, 2 beep, 3 beep or 4 beep to let you know which sound mode you're using. That's a little bit of a problem if you change your sound mode to lock, so you're not going to know what headset EQU you're using until you go into the kind of audio hub and have another look on your computer. That is a little bit of a downside, but it is what it is, I suppose. Once you get used to it, it's not too bad at all. Now, as far as build quality goes, it doesn't feel like a premium headset. The Astro A50s, which I've reviewed just before this, they felt like a real quality, heavy, elite headset. Now, the Stealth 500X is still an expensive headset, and I do feel for that price range, it should feel a little bit better. It's very light, feeling plastic, and I do think if you dropped it you may end up breaking it, you know. I did think they should have put a little bit more effort into the build quality for the price range of this headset. But that being said, it's still not terrible. If you've used the O4s or the O7s, it's of a similar build quality to the 500X, so you know what you're playing with there. Another thing worth mentioning is the Turtle Beach 500X does not come with a mic stand. That's absolutely crazy. I mean, the Astro comes with a stand. It's only a bit of plastic, probably cost them 5 pence to manufacture, but the 500 doesn't have a stand, you know. And the Turtle Beach 800X, which is the next part of the review that I'm going to go on to, has a charging dock as well. Bearing in mind the price tag of the 500X, I really feel they are nickel and diming you on having no stand. I literally have to leave that thing lying there as it's charging via USB cable. Also, while we're talking about USB cables, the Astro and the Turtle Beach 800X both come with mini USB like all the other peripherals of this generation. Unfortunately, the Stealth 500s come with the micro, you know, the fatter USB port, you know, the things that you used to charge up the PlayStation 3 controllers with. So it's a little bit outdated in that respect also. Now, I've mentioned that the sound quality is a lot lower than the Astro A50s, but how does it sound if we're not just talking about bass and just about volume levels? Now, the actual quality of the sound is very, very good. The mids on this headset are incredibly good. I had no problems when in surround sound mode, pinpointing people coming from the left, people coming from the right, gunfire and grenades, and where the xenomorph was in Alien Isolation. The actual quality of the sound, you're hearing many things that you might not hear maybe on the Astros, because the Astros go all out, balls to the wall with bass, whereas when something's not quite as bassy, you can sometimes pick out more nuances in sound than maybe you could if something is just incredibly loud. That's where Astro puts all its eggs in one basket for bass and loudness. But the Turtle Beach 500X may not have the same level of bass as the Astros, although they are no slouch in that department, but they certainly do a very, very good job. You know, I was very happy with the sound, and although it is lower than the Astros, after maybe using the headset for 3 or 4 weeks, I did kind of get used to the fact that I could, you know, not put it as loud as the other headsets, and I did kind of attune to it, and after a while I really wasn't thinking about the extra volume whatsoever. And let's be honest now, I'm not talking it's whisper quiet either, it is plenty loud enough, and I'm sure 95% of people out there will be satisfied with the level of sound. But there's going to be some people maybe used to Astros or used to Tritons or whatever, and they may find it just that little bit too low. But if I was going to kind of roll up the Stealth 500 headset and give you an overall view, I think it's a jack of all trades headset, you know. If you're somebody who plays single player but also does a lot of multiplayer gaming, this is definitely the best all-around headset on the list, because the party chat and everything else, I just found it much easier to use these headsets online. I used the Astros online when I was playing Sniper Zombie Army Trilogy, and I was just shouting at the poor guy, you know, on the other team, on my team, and not knowing how loud I was talking. The mic monitor on this headset is top banana. And finally, on to the last headset of the review. And finally we move on to the Turtle Beach Elite 800X. Now this is a really funny headset, man. This is the headset I'm using at the moment, and I'm going to kind of tell you what the fate of the headset is after this review. I'm going to hit you with all of these positives about this headset, one after another, and I'm going to hit you with the real one thing that's going to make and break you about this headset at the very end of all the positives. And you're either going to want this headset or you're not going to want this headset based on this one negative about the whole thing. To get started then, just like these 500X, the Elite 800X are a completely wireless solution on the Xbox One. All you have is your wireless receiver, which you plug in your optical cable and the USB into your console, and there are no cables needed for voice chat on the Xbox One, which is always a bonus. The build quality of the 800 is somewhere in between the Stealth 500s and the Astro A50s. It's a good solid feel, it looks like a premium headset, it feels like a premium headset. The ear cups are leather, they're memory as well, so they feel incredibly comfortable. You feel like you are using a premium headset when you have this on your head. It looks the part as well. It has no boom mic, so the mic is integral to the ear cup, so you don't have that to worry about. You could quite easily be wearing these when you're going down the road using Bluetooth on your phone to listen to music, and that is one thing this headset has. You can actually use Bluetooth, attach it to your phone, attach it to your tablet, and use it as a separate headset completely independent of your console, or you can even link it in to another device completely independent of your console. For example, you could be gaming, playing some Halo, and someone could call you on Skype on your tablet, and you could then, without disconnecting the microphone, answer that Skype call on your tablet with the same headset. That's because it's linked in via Bluetooth to your tablet, so it does give you a lot of versatility which aren't available on maybe the Astros. As well as that, these things come with an absolutely amazing charging dock. I say amazing twice because it is that cool. With the charging dock, it's got an open kind of port on it. All you have to do is literally place your headset into the dock and it charges the headset. The Astros and the Stealth 500s, you actually have to link a USB cable to your headset to charge it. These things, you just put it in its stand and it charges automatically. How freaking cool is that? You put the headset in the wireless receiver and it charges itself. That is an absolute premium feature and I absolutely love it. Much like the 500X, you have many multiple audio presets that you can load into your headset via the audio hub on your computer. Unlike the 500X as well, which only had 4 presets, in this you have 6 presets. But the really cool thing about this headset is when you push the button on your headset, it tells you, it says you are in horror mode, you are in footsteps mode, you are in signature sound. So you push that button, you actually know because it's telling you what mode you're using. Whereas the Turtle Beach 500X, if you remember, it literally only beeps 1, 2, 3 or 4 times. You have to memorize what each mode is, so you can really kind of tune this headset to exactly what you want it to be. And now we finally move on to how do these headsets sound? Well, that's a very strange question because everyone has different tastes. Now, some people are actually going to think this sounds better than the Astro A50, depending on what your personal preference is. Again, if you like absolutely booming bass and really loud headsets, you're going to love the Astro A50s. But if you don't care so much for having absolutely destroying bass in your eardrum, then you're going to really love the way that the Elite 800 sound. They certainly have their fair share of bass and they're just a smidgen lower in the volume department than the Astro A50s, but they're certainly a hell of a lot louder and a hell of a lot more bassy than the Stealth 500s. You know, again, I could hear people to the left and the right of me. I had no problems with feeling where people were in shooting games and playing horror games. These things have an incredible sound variety to them, you know. It's not all about the bass. I think these things sound absolutely amazing, but again, for some people, they are going to just prefer the way that the Astro A50 sound. Again, it all depends on how you hear things and what your preference is, but you will certainly not feel like you've been duped out your money if you're looking for just sound quality in the Elite 800X. So, up until this point in the review, it sounds like I'm raving about the 800X, man. I seem to really like it, don't I? But if you remember back in the beginning of this review, I said that there's no perfect headset on the Xbox One. Now, this is what I'm going to talk about now, and this for me is the deal breaker on the 800X. And apart from that, everything else I love about this headset. But the thing I'm going to talk about just ruins it, so I cannot keep this headset and I'm about to sell them on eBay now. And I'm not going to beat around the bush with this one. The microphone, if you're someone who likes to chat online or to be in party chat on Xbox One, to be frank, the microphone sucks rhinoceros cock. It literally licks yak balls. I cannot believe that a premium headset of this price has such a poor quality microphone. Now, the other microphones I've spoke about all have a boom mic, a dedicated mic. The actual microphone is integral and it's built into one of the ear cups, and boy does it show. I am not shitting you. You might be better using the microphone in your Kinect than you are using the microphone in this headset. And they've said they've patched it, and some people say it's okay. I'm telling you, I've recorded voice message after voice message, I've spoke to people online, and this is by far one of the worst microphones I've ever used online. I had better quality chat from the original Xbox 360 stock microphone that was sold with the console. It sounds like, someone said to me, it sounded like I was talking on speakerphone and my phone was on the other side of the room. It was crackly, it broke up, it dropped out. The microphone on this thing is absolutely atrocious, and I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty pissed, because everything about this headset I love. Just how they could drop the ball so much on that. If they literally took off the boom microphone from the Stealth 500X and attached it to the Elite 800X, this might be the best headset I've ever used in my life. If I had to explain what the microphone on this thing sounds like, do you know when you was playing on PlayStation 3, which never had good voice chat in the first place to begin with, someone bought like a $4 Bluetooth microphone and you heard them chatting online, and you're just there thinking, I can't understand what that dude's saying, he's got a crappy mic. That is what the microphone on the Elite 800X sound like, and it's crazy. Absolutely crazy why they can get it right with all the other headsets, and the most expensive headset they sell, they decide to do it this way. It absolutely baffles the mind, it really does. And for me, that is just a deal breaker. If you're someone who plays primarily single player games and you're never intends to chat to anybody on Skype or anything, then these may be the headset for you. But if you ever want to talk to anyone online, for me, my advice, it's a deal breaker. I really cannot recommend this headset with a clear conscience just on that fault alone. So there it all is. Let's close this video up and get my final thoughts. So there you go, dudes, that's all the headsets that I've owned. That's all the information I have to give you. I've tried to cut out the fluff and just be honest, and always I try and give my gut feeling on something, bearing in mind someone may go out there and purchase a headset maybe on this information. So I've just really tried to give you my real honest feelings about it. So we're going to hit with the Astro A50s. I have no qualms whatsoever recommending the Astro A50s. That's an absolutely beastly headset, premium build, great quality. The sound is amazing. It's so loud. The bass is absolutely just beastly. The bass is absolutely amazing on this thing. The only thing that really lets it down, I'm not a big fan of the microphone for chat. You know, you flip it down and you start chatting, but it doesn't sound that great, and the lack of mic monitoring, it can be a little bit difficult if you're playing a loud game just to kind of pick out how loud you're talking, and that's really the only downside to this headset. It's just great. You know, the Astro A50s, it's expensive, but I don't think you're going to feel like you wasted your money if you buy the Astro A50. Now we're going to go on to the Turtle Beach 500X. Now this is the headset which I've probably listed the most faults with, in fact, but out of all three, I actually quite like this 500X. It's just, I see it as a jack of all trades headset, you know. It's not quite as loud as the other two. It has loads of features, more than the Astros for certain, but not quite as many as the 800X. But just the versatility of the headset, you know, once you get used to it being a little bit lower, it's very customizable. We can do the audio mode presets, and this is by far the best headset out of the three I've mentioned. If you want to do party chat, or where you want to chat with people online, it's just versatile. It's a little bit cheaper than the other two, but I think the fact that it just doesn't have sound quite as good as the other two might put some people off. But this is probably my favourite, and it's going to be the headset that I'm going to stick with. And finally, we're going to go on to the 800X. If you're a single player gamer, someone who doesn't talk on Skype a lot, or someone who doesn't talk to other people a lot, you could do a lot worse than buy this headset. I mean, the charging dock is amazing. The sound on this thing, I personally prefer the sound on the 800X to the Astro A50s. It just sounds amazing. It's feature rich. You can Bluetooth it to your phone. It's full of all the things you would expect from a premium headset. I just feel that microphone, I really can't recommend this headset just because it is so poor. Like I said, go and check out the reviews on Amazon, go and check out the reviews over the web, and I'm not the only person saying this. And this is an expensive headset. It is the creme de la creme for the Xbox One from Turtle Beach. I just expected a little bit more. You know, why let such a great headset down on something so bloody stupid? They had the technology already on the Turtle Beach 500X. Why not use that boom microphone? So that's a real letdown. So there it is, guys, my gut feeling on the free premium headsets I've used on the Xbox One. Hopefully this is useful to someone out there. You know, I don't fluff my videos up, I give you my honest feelings about stuff. I have no affiliation with Astro, I have no affiliation with Turtle Beach, so it's my honest opinion. But if I was to recommend a headset, it's got to be the Astro A50 or the Stealth 500s, bearing in mind what I've said. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and like, comment, subscribe. This is Sakuraba1982 signing off. Thanks for watching.
This is my boomstick!